All righty. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for coming along. I am going to, so tonight we are making an all-in-one, and we're going to dish, and we're going to explore the Varoma. So the Varoma itself, a lot of people never really got the hang of it, especially 31 and 5 customers. Never kept in touch with their consultant, never had that second cooking experience, never really got into the Varoma. So I'm quite passionate about inspiring people to use their Varoma and get your money's worth out of your investment, whichever model that you've got. So tonight I have actually, I have actually saved in Cookie Doo in my week. I have saved Moroccan chicken and couscous salad with sweet potato soup. So this is a beautiful meal, and it makes a mountain of food. So it's great for those with big families, or if you've got friends coming over, and it's a lot of fun. So as always with every recipe, we've got our ingredients and our steps. And with them, we've also got down the bottom utensils, hints and tips, and our nutritional information as well. So if I didn't want to make the dip, so part of it is a dip as well. So it's it's a great dish. If I just wanted to make the chicken salad and sweet potato soup, see how that highlights there? If there's a recipe and you just want to go from a certain step, or you've done the other parts and you've come back a couple of days later and you want to do the rest of the recipe from a different step, all you need to do is press on that step and it will jump to where you want to go, rather than actually following the recipe going next, which is awesome. It saves a lot of time. So the first step is making our sun-dried tomato dip, which is beautiful. So 30 grams of Parmesan cut into 33 centimeter, 30, 40, close enough. Can never have too much cheese. 1 garlic clove, which is hidden over here. Now with dips, I would actually say, so normally in a dish, if it says 1, I'm like putting 2 or 5 in there. But for dips, 1 garlic clove is better, because otherwise it can be a bit, the taste can be a bit overwhelming in a dip. So I'm being a good girl this evening. I will just put 1 garlic clove in there. Then insert measuring cup, which we know just means pop the lid on. So 10 seconds, it says turn speed selected to 9. It shows me where 9 is, and it won't let me go past 9. Where we go. Gonna go, and the sound goes right down really quickly. So to turn off the chiming, you can touch the screen, the next, or press the button as well. So you've got, with the Thermix, there's a lot of things which, like 3 options for everything, which is craziness. And let me show you that. So there's our Parmesan cheese, all done. Scrape down the sides of the bowl with a spatula. I will also get you loving your spatula. It's just about learning how to use it properly. I always scrape around the bowl rather than going down the bowl, because I just feel that you get more bang for your buck. And if you start at the top and go down, it's just a more efficient way. Next, 100 grams of sun-dried tomatoes or semi-sun-dried tomatoes drained. Oops. It's always something random jumping out. 104, close enough. There's some really amazing cookie dough recipes with sun-dried tomatoes. You can just in Cookie Doo type in the ingredient and see where it takes you. that can be a lot of fun. So half a red capsicum cut into pieces. It's a really big capsicum. So I just used about a quarter of it. It's 120 grams of raw cashew nuts. I've got raw in one box and obviously roasted and salted in another. I've seemed to use quite a lot recently. 122. 20 grams of olive oil. So with our liquids, we pour full tilt and then pull up 5 grams before the number that we want. So if I wanted 40 grams, I would pour to 35 and then pull up, because that last 5 grams is still in motion. It's still going into the bowl. So we go to 15. Only got to 19, close enough. So you are still in control, even though you're following recipes. And a little bit over, a little bit under, not going to make a huge difference. So 10 grams of white vinegar. Nine, 10. Insert measuring cup to mixing bowl. And then it is 1 minute. And it's a mode. So every time there's a picture, it's our blend mode. No, it's turbo, sorry. It's 1 second and it's turbo. Having one of those days. 1 second and it's turbo. Every time you have, when a symbol comes up and it's a picture rather than a speed, you only need to turn the silver dial 1 click to get it to go. So turn speed selector 5 times. Five. There we go. So we don't actually use turbo very often. It can be, there are some salads that use turbo. Plus also it's another option for cleaning. You can put water in sort of just up to the, go next for it to open up. You can put just enough water so it's over the blades, a little bit of vinegar in, and use turbo to do a bit of cleaning, because it actually pushes the water up onto the lid as well. So there's our groovy dip there. Scrape down the sides. So same again. So 100 grams of lemon juice. I've actually got half a lemon, and then I'm going to have to go with the bottle. So obviously quality is not as wonderful as I would like. Now, a really handy hint for lemons is to cut them in half and then use your spatula, turn it 90 degrees. Now, if you did it as well with the lid on, the lid itself, the MC would catch the pips and let this juice drain in. But because I know this one doesn't have pips, I'm just doing it this way. So then I'm going to have to resort to our juice. So also you've got control. So you can choose whether you put in the whole 100 grams. I'm just going to put in 93 because I can. And then another 50 grams of olive oil. Which is quite a lot, but it's a dip. I'm just going to put in, there we go, 48. Another 10 grams of white vinegar. Done. Next, insert measuring cup. So feel free to put any questions in the chat. So 5 seconds, speed 6. It shows me where 6 is. It won't let me go past 6. Next, transfer dressing into a jug and set aside. How delicious does that look? It looks great. So, scraping out, I hang my Thermomix bowl off my thumb and hold it like that. It's actually the most ergonomically, I wouldn't say correct, but ergonomically good way to do it. And then I just scrape out like I normally would, as always, going around. You see that? Yep. Okay. Right. So then we've still got some more around our blades. So if I had it actually on the blades, which there is a little bit, I would do the flip. Here's our lid as well. With the lid, yet again, the spatula is made just for that. So I'm going to go around, get most of it off. Okay, then I'm going to do the flick. So I'm going to come out of the recipe. So I just press my little house. Takes me back to my time, temperature, and speed. I'm going to click on that, dial it up to 10 for under a second. It flicks everything off the blades. And then especially when you've got cake batter or dip or dough, it's really good. And you can see there that it's flicked everything off. So still hanging it from my thumb. I'm going to go around, scrape everything off. Because I want to get it as clean, A, as clean as possible, and B, make sure I have enough all of the dip. Then, so spatula hanging off your thumb. This and this side is made to go into the bowl. So the back of the bowl, if I can tilt that for you, and go from 12 to 6. So you're scraping around and then scraping to the front. Then you want to go to the top and go 12 to 6 in the other direction. So I didn't have a lot there, but I give you the idea. Now I've still got some around the inside. That's when I use this part of the spatula up again behind the high blade. If you use the lower blade, you're just kind of pushing it around the bowl. So you want to go behind the high blade and go around 12 to 6, scrape to the front, same thing, 12 to 6. Takes a little bit of practice to get that going, but that's how much I got just from using the spatula, and my bowl's almost clean. Okay, then I press on our little bookmark and it takes me back to where I was. So clean and dry the mixing bowl. Now, of course, I have the magic of 2 machines, 3 bowls. Not everybody does, I understand, but I'm doing a class, so I'm not going to bother, except for saying that when you buy from me, I give you the brush, which is another way of cleaning the bowl, and that is fantastic for cleaning your Thermomix. Let us put that over here for later. Right, next, place Varoma into position. So we take our MC off, our measuring cup off. We pop our Varoma on top. Take those 2 bits off. So 400 grams of pumpkin, peeled and cut into 1 centimeter cubes. I'm just going to chop them just a little bit more. Go. So I had them more like 2.5 centimeter cubes. That's all right. 295. Close enough, 379. 520 grams of chicken breast fillets cut into cubes. So I've had that in the fridge. And of course, I'm a bad person. I actually cheated today and didn't cut my own chicken breast. But we want to weigh into the Varoma dish as well. Let's use my fork. Now, if you wanted, there we go. Now, we always leave some space for, so 519, there you go. Insert Varoma tray. Now, I want to come and show you this because, I'm going to tilt that down a little. Actually there. Let's do that camera there. There we go. Always leave space around your food for the steam to come through. If you put a whole chicken in there and it covered up the base of the Varoma, you're not going to get any steam through. It's not going to work. So you always put your food in and then move it around so that there's space there. So then what we're going to do, put the tray in, and then we're going to use baking paper. Now, wet baking paper actually helps you if you've got something that's liquid. This one is actually going to be our couscous. So there's a little video. So let's play the video. It actually shows you to cut around the outside. I just ripped it because stick it in water, scrunch it up, and then put it on our tray. I can do that too. So the water itself, the baking paper stops liquid or small things falling through the holes, and the water itself actually helps with the steaming. There we go. Oh, stop. Next, 160 grams of couscous, rinsed and drained. I haven't rinsed it, that's okay. Let's just put it on. $154. Come on, there. 158, 159. There we go. Okay. So obviously it would have been a much better result if I had wet it. But what I'm going to do is just use a little bit of water and sprinkle on top. Then I'm going to go and yell at the dog. He's driving the neighbours batty. A moment. Okay, so set the Varoma aside. So I'll pop the lid on and set it aside. I am just going to be 1 second. Okay, something so cute be so annoying. Okay, so we're back. So next, 4 sprigs of fresh coriander, leaves only. So I've actually planted some more coriander, but I'd used most of it. So I had to actually go and spend money at the shops. There we go, insert measuring cup, which means pop our MC on. Next, so 2 seconds, speed 7. Take that round. So super quick. You go back. Now, the other thing, if you've already gone next and then you take the lid off, it's actually going to go minus 300 and something. So just make sure that you tear it. All right, so 520 of sweet potatoes, peeled and cut into pieces. Not enough. Not enough, that's all right. So what's everyone been cooking this week? Anything exciting?
Not much with my Thermomix.
Oh, I actually made fig paste. I had these figs from the shops for the I don't know, for a little while, and I kept looking at them thinking I was going to make a dessert, and of course I never quite got to that. So then I decided that with quince season going to be upon us next month, that I would start by making a fig paste, and then I'll make a quince paste for my cheese platters in winter, which is always a favorite of mine. So, and paste, you know, because it's so much sugar, they actually last quite a long time in the fridge, or you can freeze them. But, you know, you can make them so much cheaper than you can buy from the shops. So Maggie beer paste for 100 grams is, I don't know, $6 or something. And I actually made a kilo of quince paste last year for $9. So it's a huge saving.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, family and friends will love you forever, especially if they're cheese people. And, you know, you can make fig, you can make pear. There's just all sorts that you can make. So there we go, close enough. So 130 grams of red lentils. So these are super handy for all, they have for all sorts of things. And that's the other thing. If you buy an ingredient that you don't normally have in the cupboard and you just use, so that's 130 grams of 375, go back into Cookie Dough and see what else you can make with it. Type in the ingredient either in the search bar or actually put it in the ingredients list in your filters. There we go, 1250 of water. What I put it there is.
I used the egg boiler mode for the first time last night.
So good.
I will never ever boil eggs other way again. It's so good.
Yeah.
So I had perfectly medium hard yolks today for my salad at lunchtime. Very
lovely. Awesome. That is so cool. Yeah,
I have to give that a go.
Yeah, egg boiler and honeycomb were the two things that I was determined to make the moment I got a 6. Especially the honeycomb, because that was the one thing couldn't make in the 31 or the 5. But yeah, definitely love the egg boiler.
So how many times have you made honeycomb since, Lisa?
Probably 4 or 5 times now. Okay. Enough to learn that you put a little bit less bicarb in than it says, and also don't use your friend's really good honey. It's too pure and it burns really fast. You've got to use the cheap honey from the shops.
Yeah, I've only made it once and that put me off. It was too sticky, it was too bicarbonated, and it just, I haven't gone back to it.
Oh no.
I even bought the mold to do it in.
Oh, try again.
Yeah,
Definitely
I will.
Try again. So veggie stock, We usually make veggie stock when you are first brand new at having a Thermomix. It makes quite a lot, lasts for 6 months in the fridge. Some people put theirs in the freezer, but fridge is right there. I'm not fussed about that. And I know that it lasts 6 months. Normally I would stick the date on it. Obviously I didn't this time. And the rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon of stock for 500 grams of water. So say the risotto, you're putting in 720 of water. If you like a wetter risotto, it says 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'd put both tablespoons in. It's all about flavor. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I've got this, I'll just use that to taste. And pepper. It's got a light, that's cool. It's just new toys. Because one of our ones broke. Place a serving bowl onto the mixing bowl lid. There we go. Right. What they mean by serving bowl is they mean a massive big bowl. So I've actually know how much weight into the serving bowl. Dried cranberries, I know how much spinach I've got. So then I just need my, it says cranberries or raisins. If anything asks for raisins, I'm a cranberry girl. So my white Christmas at Christmas is raisins, not raisins. Coconut and spinach dal. Oh, yum. Oh, mango chutney. Beautiful. And set the serving bowl aside. Okay, place Varoma into position. Secure on the Varoma lid. And then it's 17 minutes Varoma speed 1. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to, I'm going to talk, I've got another Varoma here, and I'm going to talk through a few things regarding the Varoma. Okay. So there's my other Varoma. So when you're using the Varoma, and I also wanted to show you your basic cookbook. If you just want to use the Varoma to steam something, your basic cookbook, whether it's the red one from being a TM5 or the white one for TM6, you actually have in the back, we have 2 sections. Chopping functions. So it has the weights and the speeds, how long, how fast, which is, so that's 5, 6 pages. Then we have steaming functions. The theory of the Varoma is that you would put 500 grams of water in the bowl, and then what's in the list. Now, some of these though, I'm not sure if you can see, some actually say steaming basket rather than Varoma. So they've actually done, you know, over the time that the Thermomixes have, so Thermomix itself has been 51 years, they've been in production, but there's been so much new advice and new different ways to do stuff since even I had my first TM31 in 2013. But the theory is 500 grams of room temperature water, and then you put in, we've got our ingredient, how much, how long for, and our Thermix part that we use, the Varoma or the steaming basket. Now, if you're going to cook for longer than 30 minutes, you actually need to add 250 grams more water per each additional 15 minutes. So that's the key to it. Always make sure a few holes in the dish remain unobstructed and have the lid secure. So if you're going to do your corned beef, don't make it so big that the lid's not able to be put on. It's not going to work properly. So you've got steaming vegetables, fish and seafood, steaming meat. So there's everything that you need there just to do things manually. And I'm sure there's also cookie dough recipes as well that do steaming. We'll have a look in a minute. But the key thing is we have liquid in the bottom. We have our Varoma on top. Now, when it's finished steaming, always use the handles, tilt away from yourself so that the steam goes away, tip it upside down, and you can actually put the Varoma on the lid and it will keep your bench clean. Now, you can use the Varoma with the tray or without the tray. No biggie either way. You can do layered stuff like that we're doing tonight, or you can just fill this whole bowl, the bottom part of the tray, with veg. Just make sure, I use the bottom of my spatula, just make sure that there are holes in the bottom that are free so that the steam can come around. So you can do a whole chicken, but with a chicken, I would put, I don't know, 2 egg rings, 2 forks, just whatever you've got, just to lift it up off the base, because the bottom of the chicken is going to block the holes. So you need to lift it up to get your steam around and to get it cooked properly. So there's a fantastic skinny mixes recipe, I'm pretty sure it is, with pork belly and apple underneath. So you steam it in the Varoma and then you whack it in the oven at the end to crisp up. That's a beautiful recipe. What's another one? So then you've also got things like you can do wontons. What you need to do with sticky things like wontons is you need to, I just use a spray oil. I've got, use rice bran oil or something in a spray. Spray it so that it doesn't stick to the Varoma itself. And then make sure that you space them out, because wontons are actually going to expand when they steam and they cook. I highly recommend Justine Schofield's chicken and wonton soup, because you actually make the broth. It takes a lot longer than the normal cookie dough wonton soup, and you actually stick 2 raw chicken legs and an absolute pile of herbs in the basket, and then you actually cook it with the water and it makes a broth. It's beautiful, beautiful. Highly recommend. What else can we do? So I'm trying to inspire. Does anybody have anything that they have used the Varoma for?
Sticky date pudding's about it, and I do vegetables, and I've done silverside.
Okay. So you can buy little Darryl molds. So they're plastic molds about this size. You can get 8 of the ones that you can buy from Thermix in here. You can make steam your sticky date pudding. You can steam, there's a beautiful one with jam, like, so you put the jam in the bottom and then you fill it with the pudding, so that when you tip it out, the jam's on top of your steamed pudding. You can do cupcakes steamed. You can do, so I make bao buns all the time. That's steamed. And your enclosed bao buns. I don't think they're called bao buns though, but the Asian buns with your pork inside. You can, a crazy one, Tanina, who used to be the head of the test kitchen at Thermix, lives in Perth. We actually have made rice noodles for our pad thai from scratch using the Varoma. So you rice and water left overnight, obliterate it in the Thermomix, then you use your wet baking paper and you pour a thin layer of the liquid on, and then it steams for 7 minutes, and then you rub it with olive oil, cut it with a pizza cutter. It's just that each layer takes 7 minutes, so it's one of those rainy day stuck inside kind of dishes where you're looking to just play and have some fun with food. What else? So if you've got a vegetarian coming over, you could put your veg in the bottom and say a soup or cooking something else here, have your wet baking paper here and put your meat on top. That actually stops the meat from dripping down into the rest of the meal. So then that's quite handy as well. You can accommodate everybody. Omelette. So you can do your omelette on your wet baking paper. That's fantastic. I have seen a video where you actually use the tray to make, it's kind of like a pasta where you actually put the dough or the liquid on and sweep it across, and it actually comes through the holes in that. It's called spetzel or something. I'll have a look in a minute. Not sure if it might even be in Cookie Doo. Let us share the screen again. Sure. Oh, get rid of that. Put that down. Okay. So I know I am going to be completely wrong. Maybe. There it is. So that is, I don't think this one actually uses the Varoma tray, but it says wet a chopping board and bowl scraper with water. Spread 1/4 of the batter on the wet chopping board. But I have actually seen, if you Google, I have seen it done with the tray. So that's something good and fun to have a go of. Now let's explore. So you could actually type in, I'm not very good, Varoma. There we go. So we've got 835 results found for English. Obviously there's multiples because we're talking about different countries. There you go, your sticky toffee pudding, Varoma pizza, taco bowls, your potato salad, all sorts of stuff. And obviously you can filter down for what you want. So you can decide whether you want a meat dish, categories, desserts and sweets. So there's 284. Then you could come down and do, that's gluten-free. So there's 81. Ingredients, let's leave that blank. So even, that's the other thing, you can do your meatloaf all in one with all the trimmings. You can do, there you go, chicken involtini. There is one in the cookbook, the Cooking for Two, which is turkey roulade. So you actually roll the turkey with a stuffing inside. That's beautiful. So if you just type in roulade, it might show you that in a second. You know, so it doesn't have to be boring at all, you're steaming. Creme caramel is obviously on my to-do list. I will get there one day. Let me just steam your pears, so you can steam all sorts of stuff. Red beans and rice with turkey meatballs. That was quite nice. I've made that. And the honey lime chicken with the mango chutney. That was really good. And your steamed pistachio cheesecake. That was also nice.
Lisa, do you know, is there, when you're using the rice cooker mode, Or
Yes.
No, actually, I don't use the rice cooker mode. I prefer the steamed rice recipe.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the rice cooker mode. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I'm doing my steamed rice,
Yes.
using the cookie dough recipe, would there be enough steam in that to like steam some green vegetables, do you think?
It's
Like,
got to be on Varoma to
it has
get
to
the
be, okay.
rolling boil
Yep.
that you need.
Yep.
You can try.
I thought I might try it next time. Just, even with like some bok choy or something that's
Even if
fairly
you get
light.
it like, half steamed.
Yeah.
But generally you do need the Varoma temperature
Right.
to get enough of a rolling boil
Yep.
to actually get the steam in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing is you actually really need that Varoma temperature.
Oh, next time I do rice, I'll throw some bok choy in and I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. There are some really lovely though. Let me share again. Zoom, share screen. Now, so that's one way of searching, is just typing Varoma in there, or you could actually come down here and do tags and type in steaming with Varoma or steam cooking with Varoma, and you've also got Varoma recipes. So you pretty much get the same, but you might get a couple of different ones. So your steamed white chocolate cheesecake, that is gorgeous. Let me have another look. So there's a biryani style rice that's lovely. So there's your prawn dumplings, orange puddings. There's also one that is banana and ginger creme anglaise puddings. They should come with a health warning though, because they are butter, sugar, cream, over and over again, pretty much in the recipe. These are really nice. Oh, there we go. These are really nice, just seam balls with spicy lime dipping sauce. They're quite good. I really quite like them. Is there anything anybody wants me to look at? Let's look at under 45 minutes, which is what I always look at for my classes. So the camembert with cranberries and almonds, that's good, but it actually asks for a big wheel of camembert. It's like 900 grams or something ridiculous. Where is it? There you go, 900 to 1,000 grams of camembert. So if you just use a normal sized 250 thing of camembert, you've actually got to watch it, because it will just melt and go all to goo, which of course, it all goes down the same way. However, it's embarrassing when it's on a virtual and it's been recorded. As you can tell, I've learned my lessons from that. So yeah, mussels and lots of recipes for seafood, if you like seafood. What else? Lots of Asian dishes as well. So the curry laksa is something I'm going to try soon. The paprika chicken is nice. I had that a couple of times. There's your wonton soup, but I would go looking for the Justine Schofield. Now, the steamed greens with lemon feta, that is something I make every Christmas. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Obviously make and serve straight away, but totally worth it. There's your steamed banana puddings and your meatballs. Alrighty, let's stop share for a second. So next, add into the serving bowl 8 dried apricots, mint and coriander leaves, 3 spring onions and shallots. Okay, so take that off. Not really had a good, oh, there we go. So I only got to 95. Righto. All right, so our apricots. Of course, that was at the end of the mint, spring onions and shallots. Right, so we've got chickpeas here. Oh no, sorry, serving bowl. That would mean, I should read the recipes. That actually means the serving bowl itself that I'm actually going to put the thing into. Lightly stir the pumpkin and the chicken to ensure the even cooking. So I am actually, there we go. They've actually not cooked much at all. So I am going to possibly have to extend my cooking time, but that's the thing. Even though I'm following a recipe, there we go, secure the Varoma lid. Again. And 7 minutes, Varoma speed 1. There we go. Prolong cooking time by 1 minute. I'm actually going to make it 3 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Extra. And then I need to actually find a big container. So let's just go preview. Now let's see if I can preview back. No, I can't. All right, that's all right. So the next, and what you can also do, I'm not sure if you knew this, that you can actually preview the next steps. As it's cooking, you can have a look and go next, preview so that you can get the rest of the stuff out that you need. So what this needs is 8 apricots, and we can actually go here and go to recipe detail, and that will actually take me back to the start, but I can still see that it's 8 minutes, Varoma speed 1 up the top there. So I'm still knowing what I'm doing. So it's 8 pieces of apricot, all chopped up. And then our chickpeas, and I cut my spring onion and my mint as well. So I've got all the prep, I've got all the ingredients that I need. I just need a really big bowl, which I'm trying to remember because we just moved into the house. Oh, well, we didn't just move into the house, we moved in December. I should know where things are by now. Okay, so let us scroll down and have a look. So lightly stir the pumpkin. Okay, apricots, mint or coriander. So I've actually got mint and coriander. Spring onions, shallots, and the chickpea. So I've got all of them ready there now. And my apricot, my 8 apricots. So ready to go in. Lightly stir the pumpkin. Okay, so then it says put everything in the bowl, pour over the reserved sun-dried tomato dressing and combine. So I will do that after and show you. I'll put a picture on my in the Facebook pages of that. My mind is blank right this second of where a big bowl would be. Insert measuring cup. So once this is finished cooking, we're going to do the soup. So has everybody made soup and or stock in their Thermomix itself? Yeah, so you all know that it is usually, this one says blend 30 seconds, speed 4 to 7, increasing gradually from 4 to 7. Other soups, you have a whole minute and it actually, you go from 0 to speed 9. But normally it says the new recipes say go to speed 5 and then slowly to 9. I like to go slowly the whole way because, say with the stock, we set it to a minute and then I would go say slow stir, then half, then 1, then 1.5, then 2, then 2.5, then 3. And when I do it that way, once I get to 9, I've still got about 35 seconds left to go. I've never had to do it again, but it's just yet again one of those old timer things that I do. Because if you dial it, especially for new users, if you dial it straight up to 5, sometimes the sounding like a rocket thing can be a little bit disconcerting straight up. So that's why, and I have just always done it that way. Can't teach, well, you can teach an old dog new tricks, but it doesn't mean they're actually going to do them. So did anybody have any more questions about the Varoma and things that you can make with it and in it?
All I can say is just play around with it. Don't be frightened of it.
Yes, definitely. Oh, continue. There we go. Yeah, definitely. And just make sure that there's spaces for the steam to go around. Try different things. Yeah, there's so much out there. We've still got 4 minutes. Let's share screen again. Sure. So your meatballs, so you can do meatballs in the Varoma, but a new thing that you can do, if you've actually got a blade cover or a blade cover and peeler, you can actually do the meatballs in the tomato sauce. And actually that's a much richer flavor that you get actually doing them in the tomato sauce, in the Thermomix bowl itself. So lots of salmon, salads, mussels. Oh, this one, the melted brie with basil and lemon pesto. I've been asked to basically make that every time the family gets together now, till eternity. That was a huge hit. Probably not as many tomatoes as it says though. But they were beautiful because they were steamed and cooked as well. So that were really lovely. Soups, salads, the spinach and ricotta patties are lovely. Some Moroccan things. Oh, mochi. Mochi's on my hit list as well. Steamed ginger puddings. Lots of soups and meatballs and all that sort of stuff. What else? So actually, while we're here, whilst we are here, I will open up. Okay, so recipe community, and I will pop the link. Be good if I could spell chicken wonton soup. So there's a few, but this one is just, there you go, Justine Schofield. Oh. Right. So you're putting mince, blah, blah, blah. Okay, simmering basket, there you go. Chicken drumsticks, ginger, shallots, spring onions, coriander, star anise, and soy sauce, shouting wine, raw sugar into the simmering basket. And then it goes for 50 minutes. So then you're really getting your not stock water, your broth going. And then you're gonna steam the wontons for 9 minutes, and then another 8 minutes. So that broth is getting 50, 60, 70 minutes of cooking. So you get all that flavor in there, which is fantastic. And there's also a YouTube video with her cooking it as well, which is pretty cool. I did a couple of markets where I just had my laptop there with her making the chicken and wonton soup. And I don't know about everybody else, but I was quite I was quite entertained. So with the recipe community, this is the only website that you can add recipes from into Cookie Do because of copyright laws. So I'm just going to press add to Cookie Do because I actually really want to do that. Let's press stop there. So this is now in my created recipes. So I'm going to press done, and there it is in my created recipes. But oh no, so it is really broken down into our steps, so that's really good. But you can go even further so that close that, so that your weights and all that sort of stuff will come up. There we go. There's my edit button. Let's just go down. So let's do add chicken. I'm going to click on ingredients. There we go. And then just delete the word chicken there. And so when I actually have that in come up on the TM6 and I'm following the recipe, it will actually, you can bring the scales up. And same with this. So 10 seconds, speed 6. I'm just going to click there and click on our cooking. So it's 10 seconds, speed 6, tick. And so if it's highlighted green, it will actually come up on the screen, and you can actually press the button and the circles will come up for you to actually chop it. So that's something that's really fun with the created recipes. You can either put your own recipe in or something from the recipe community, or you can even bring over, so I'm going to hit confirm and done. You can even bring over recipes that are actually within Cookie Do. So when you hit explore, let's just bring that one up. I can add to my created recipes. And then if you've got something that you do where you want to change the recipe, then you can. Obviously, it actually doesn't have all the modes that the Thermomix has, but you wouldn't choose a recipe that had max heat or something and change that because it just hasn't got the functionality yet for that. But it does have kneading and scales and your speeds and a couple of other modes that I'm not going to say because I can't specifically remember. So that's something slightly more advanced. If that sort of thing floats your boat and you're confident and want to do that. Okay, I'm going to let off, took that away. So next, remove the chicken into the bowl and the other salad ingredients, pour over our reserved, let's pop that there. So there's my chicken and my pumpkin. It's fully cooked now. So I can put that in the bowl. Obviously not following instructions is not great. So I would definitely wet the couscous next time. So I'll redo that and do the picture. And then we've got our reserved dip / sauce. So you could actually make that just as the dip and not do those extra steps to make it into the sauce. And that is delicious. Yet again, you can just do parts of recipes. Okay, so then next, we'll dry hands. Come along, dear. No shush. All right, insert our measuring cup. Actually, I'll just show you. So it's not very exciting yet because it is just liquid and our sweet potato and all our bits and pieces in there. Pop that in. Then we've got our 30 seconds, speed to 4, then gradually to 7. So I would do like I normally do, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 6.5, 7. Okay, next, transfer our soup into a bowl. Oh, that looks great. Let me just tilt it so you can see it. Actually, no, I have to learn with that one. Let's just use that one. There we go. So that's gorgeous. And don't forget with soups, you can add your own flavors to it as well. If you want to have Asian inspired, same with the pumpkin soup, Asian inspired, bit of lemongrass. I put a whole thing of coriander in my pumpkin one. I might do that with this one. Curry powder. You know, you don't have to eat the same thing all the time. You can add a bit of different pizzazz to it. All right. Well, oh, hang on. And here is a picture of what it should look like. Ta-da! Obviously, my apologies for not having a poll to put it all in and show you, but I'll put it on the socials. And thank you very much for coming along. Let me just